I've always been a Christian, and I was raised in a Christian household, and I've been really blessed to have parents that are both strong Christians. And throughout my life, there's always kind of been the whole concept of making my faith my own. And, I've heard that from people, and I've heard that from my parents. But as far as actually, acting on it, I didn't even really understand. Because what I've kind of been finding out more recently is it's not really about an obligation, like, oh, well, my parents aren't going to like it if I tell them I can't go to church. For me personally, it's been like, I enjoy it now. Like, I actually want to. I feel like, and this applies to reading in my Bible too, just like being in the presence of God and in Christian community is just such a blessing. I know the way I used to think about Jesus was he's just kind of this, he's this man in the Bible, but he's also a part of God. But as I've been reading through my Bible, there's so much more person and character that we get to know about him, and I think it's so cool that it's like this is the living God, and I can read a biography about him, and just the whole concept of just the loving God and Jesus Christ and that, and when I read, it's just so insightful to see how he actually interacted with people, and it's just a point of connection between ourselves and God. Always youth pastors like Rob and Zeb have been so good to me. It's just always so inspiring to see what really living for God looks like and having those examples. And my youth group leader, Joe, he's also been really good. And same goes for my parents at home. When you just see how they, wisdom in your parents it's a cool thing that God gives us. Because, my parents, they're amazing. They're strong in their faith. And it's just also inspiring to look at them and to be able to confide in them and ask them for advice with things that I'm not so sure about. So yeah, it's just so nice to have that leadership. I've been thinking about this for a while, and I think the reason that I kind of feel like I want to the most is I read through Acts, and for those of you familiar with it, Acts is basically the disciples just going around and they're just doing all these works for Jesus, or acts for Jesus. And it's just, they're baptizing people, they're filling people with the Holy Spirit, and I'm like, what's keeping me from doing this? And even the guy that Philip goes up to, the Ethiopian eunuch, he goes up to him, and they're passing a body of water right after he told him about Jesus, and he's like, why shouldn't I get baptized? And I think that's a good mindset to have, when I want that growth, why shouldn't I? I want to show Jesus, and I want to show my community that I'm serious about this. So why not take that step, and why not take that plunge? I'm John Savage, and I'm taking the plunge for Jesus.
Hey, especially when we have this crowd of witnesses here, we confess Jesus